This is honestly episode 6. And like I said, staying consistent, figuring it out as we go. This is for the people, including myself, honestly, that we always feel like we got to have everything right before we get started. We got to have everything in line before we get started. And I realized this a long time ago, and this is the importance of reminders. I know I said this on a previous episode. Reminders are so vital because we can get caught up and feel like everything got to be right. Truth be told, everything is never going to be perfect. Everything is never going to align. Although it is aligning, it may not align to how you think it should align. Truth be told. And I'm victim of that. I ain't even going to say victim, but I'm guilty of that. Let's say guilty of pretty much thinking like things got to align first. Things will align before we get started. But truth is, it's not going to align how you think it's supposed to. It's going to align, but you have to get started. And that's what we did. I'm just, like I said, just starting back with it, focusing on evolving through experience. I was trying to get other things in order, trying to get life in order, feeling like, yo, I got to get this right before. But it's like, as I see time is passing by and I see the impact I was having on people when I first started. And it's like, what do I keep waiting for? How long am I going to make an excuse? Although I feel like they were valid reasons, it can still boil down to an excuse. You have to just get started. Right now, I decided, well, obviously when I first started back, I was like, yo, I'm just going to start with what I have. And truth be told, I don't even have everything I first had when I got started. And that's when I feel like everything was perfect. Not perfect, but I was like, this is what I need. And even then, obviously, I still like tripped on myself about like, yo, I need this. I'm trying to figure this out. But again, we just getting started. So this is for the people that if you got something you want to do, just do it. And I know, obviously, no infringement to Nike, but it's the truth. Just do it. You have to literally just start. Start with where you at, because that's what I'm doing with evolving through experience. Like I said, I don't even know what days I'm gonna drop episodes. Obviously, I'm just dropping them, but with evolving through experience, everything is liable to change. So I may decide Wednesdays is we're gonna drop, but as we grow, I may decide I'm gonna move it to Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays. And I'm not even trying to be funny when I say that, because it's really just like, we're going to see where things go. We know where we want things to go, but we're going to take it day by day. And being an evolving through experience is more than just a brand. It's more than just a show. It's more than just a podcast. Like I said, it's a purpose. When I first started this brand, I wrote down everything, the visions I have for it. I wrote down the unique selling proposition, all of that. Like I went through a whole business plan. And even with that, I even looked at other business models. I've studied other individuals, other businesses. And on the previous episode, one of those people I've studied, and when I say studied, like I have a notebook of things, of going back and researching and writing things down from what this individual is doing. And that individual is Nipsey. So seeing what he did with the Proud to Pay, listening to his interviews, listening to his music, obviously that's a given, but going back and researching and really seeing what he's doing is one of those things I've done with starting evolving through experience and on a continuous process, of course. But like I said, it's with evolving through experience is so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than some individuals see right now, and that's okay, because they haven't evolved yet. But that's what we're here for them to evolve. And with the evolving through experience, I was like, yo, like, this is so big. Obviously, I can't put it into words, but the level of growth, and I mean no limitations in any capacity, none, zero, nada, zero limitations. So big on the zero limitations that in 5-10 years from now, if I decide that we've grown to a whole new level that I'm not even speaking on as of yet, yo, if the logo needs to change, the logo will change. Is that much of growth? Like I'm willing to change the whole business model. I'll change anything in order to grow and evolve for the better. I'm not saying you gotta do stuff that's unethical in any capacity in general, but I'm just saying growing for the better. And obviously, if you're doing stuff for the better, I don't think it would fall under unethical. But that's a whole nother topic, because let America tell it. They'll justify anything, but that's not what we're here for today on this episode. But the focus is, again, we have to evolve. And at the end of the day, I'm just leading by example with my own personal life, because that's where it starts. If we don't evolve, we don't change, it's not going to matter, because you're going to get left behind. And not left behind necessarily like in a race, but you're going to get left behind with yourself. You're not going to be able to grow for the better. And that's why I said, no matter when I started this, and I got it written down somewhere, maybe in a different form, but it all aligns back to the same meaning. Evolving is so vital, and this is for anybody out there. Like, don't let nobody put limitations on you. Society has done that enough, and that's the reason a lot of people are where they are at right now. And they are so caught up in those limitations and beliefs that, again, other episode, it's lies. Those beliefs are lies. So they don't want to grow. They don't know how to, because they're caught up. And one thing I did, and I promised myself when I first started this brand, is I'm not going to allow myself to go backwards in a negative way. I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow people to place limitations on me. And even since then, we have grown to a whole another level. So obviously, I'm not placing limitations on myself. I'm definitely not going to let other individuals, I'm not going to let society, I'm not going to let anything place limitations on me. And I think a lot of people more need to pretty much digest that on a whole nother level. Even down to something so simple I did. I jumped out of an airplane. I think it was 30,000 feet up, parachuted, of course. So many people are like, yo, why do you want to do that? I could just stay here on the ground. The question is, why not? I have no fear. Why are we put a fear of jumping out of a plane? I have no fear of that. It's more things I want to do. And in doing things like that, not saying everybody got to jump out of a plane, but the level of, I wish I could describe it, but the level of confidence and understanding that there's no limits. Not even, and I say this seriously, not even gravity. Obviously, you're coming down because of gravity, but it's really no limit that you should place on yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Because if you do, they all align, truth be told, whether you realize it now or not. You start with one place you put in limitations, it's going to trickle over to the other factors, those other parts. So if I'm not going to put any limitations on me mentally, spiritually, emotionally, why would I do it physically? So yes, I'm going to jump out of a plane. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to even jump higher. Of course, it may be nerve-wracking. It's the first time I did it. But I was still willing to do it. And with that being said, why wait for anything? Why put limitations on your life in any capacity? Whether you're 5 years old, whether you're 6 years old, whether you're 10 years old, whether you're 15 years old, whether you're 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, it don't matter. Whether you're 50, 70, it does not matter. Do not let yourself, society, or anything place a limitation on you. Because what happens when you place a limitation? You sit there in that, feeling like, dang, I can't do that. And then it trickles over. And then you wonder why the rest of your life, or a time frame of your life, you didn't do what you wanted to do. It's because you placed those limitations. Stop placing limitations and evolve for the better. Even down to the limitations. we got to ask ourselves, who placed these limitations on us? Was it that we just thought these things, or were we taught it? Question those who have taught you that. And then even take it a step further. Why do they believe those limitations? Who taught them that? And why did they learn that? And so on. So as you continue to go back, you realize that these limitations were put on us by other people, not because this is what we just thought automatically. These limitations were put on us from other people. And you have to question those. And I'm saying this not in a judgmental way, because I was guilty of it. And this is the whole point of evolving through experience. I'm just saying from my personal experience, even down to looking for validation from other people. People got to stop that. And again, I'm saying all of this not to judge, because I was guilty of it at one point. I've been saying this and writing things like this down since 2018, 2019. Even before then, digesting it and understanding it. It's not healthy trying to please other people. You can't please everyone. And then you try to please everyone, you're the one that's going to be left messed up. That's not evolving in any capacity. You got to fix your foundation. You got to feed your foundation, water your foundation. Because if you don't, you can see what happens with that. I can guarantee it's not a place you want to be. And if you feel like you're not in a good place right now, look at the foundation. What is that foundation? Like I said, this is why so many, but including myself, was hurt. Dealing with a lot. Looking for allowing other people's limitations to be put on me. Looking for validation from others when I went against that, or it didn't align with what they believed. But as you evolve, you realize like, nah, that ain't it. And you get to a point where you don't even care that it ain't it according to them. It's about what it is for you. And at the end of the day, we just can't allow the limitations to continue. Because you let it continue. When does it stop? What's the end goal? Allowing other limitations to be put on you. Like, even in just in the simplest forms, like, even when I traveled out the country, trying new things. In Jamaica, jumping off of cliffs. I'm jumping, and Nipsey said this, Nipsey said it best. Obviously, in this sense, I had a life jacket on. But jumping off the deep end without a life jacket, like, do you know what that means? Like, and these is why, like, and that's just one segment. That's just from this recent album. We can go back. But at the end of the day, jumping off the deep end without a life jacket, I'm willing to do that literally. Now, I ain't saying it should be stupid, of course, but at this point, I could swim. But at this point, I'm in a foreign country, far away from home. I'm not even on a resort or where I was staying at the time. They offered me an opportunity to jump into the ocean off a cliff. Yes, I'm going to do it. Why not? Because I'm just not with any form of limitations. Nobody else wanted to jump. It's like a group of people that came from a resort or whatever. They're like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait to get back on the ATVs. Oh, I can jump? Record me. I'm going to record myself. You record me jumping, and then I'm going to take this waterproof case with me so I can record myself jumping as well. I'm just not with no limitations in any capacity. And like I said, Nip said it best, jumping off the deep end without a life jacket. And I'll jump off that deep end again, with or without the life jacket. And although he said that, he wasn't talking about in a literal sense, although you can do it in a literal sense. He's talking about with life. And that goes back to limitations. They'll limit you and be like, no, you should do it this way. Or don't even do that at all. No, I'm going to do it my way. And I'm going to jump off without a life jacket. And I'm going to figure it out. And that's exactly what evolving through experience is about. Taking every experience and evolving. Before we wrap up this episode, before we wrap it up, right? I'm just going to do a quick reminders. Because again, reminders are key, not just for myself, but I believe for everyone. Or you could say not just for everyone, but also for myself. It doesn't matter. It's a reminder. So remember it. At the end of the day, just don't allow no limitations to be placed on you. And when I say limitation, I mean by yourself first and foremost, and other people. Especially other people, and especially other people, and especially yourself. It may sound funny what I'm saying, but it's honestly the truth. Like, don't allow it, especially from nobody. Heavy on the especially. Because it's not going to get you where you also want to be. It's usually going to leave you drained, unfulfilled, and nothing comes from that. That's not evolving. At the end of the day, we got to do better. At the end of the day, we have to evolve. And I'm only saying all of this again from my experiences. And it's a reminder for everyone. Because, again, this is life or death. We have to. And when I say life or death, I do mean that from a spiritual, mental, emotional, and even physical standpoint. So you have to fight it from all areas. And evolving through experience is truly the answer for all of that. So at the end of the day, just continue to evolve. If y'all been loving the episode so far, this episode 6, and I'll just say this one last time, even down to just being transparent. This is how I started. Everything I'm speaking on, I can relate to. And at the end of the day, I'm evolving through my experience from stopping the brand, not even stopping, but I would say taking a pause. Because I never stopped it. I kept paying the bills for it, kept the website up, kept merch, continued to promote it, but I wasn't promoting it as heavy as I should have. Life wound up getting to me, having to deal with a lot, which we'll definitely be going into, because the time from when I started the brand and all those things I had to share that I didn't even really get into yet. Oh, life has changed drastically since then. And I'm looking forward to get into it because now I can say we evolved again. Not in the same place, not in the same position that I was when I first started the brand. So for some of those reasons, I stopped to try to figure things out life. But truth be told, I should have continued, but I didn't. But we're not talking about the past. We're talking about now. So now, we're just going to start with just audio for now. And we're going to take it day by day. With no excuses. I'm putting out episodes. A minimum at least weekly. And that may change. Maybe 2 episodes a week. Who knows? We're just going to take it day by day. I went and bought a brand new mic. All of that. Figured out how to set it up. Asked for some assistance for some friends. And then I figured the rest out. And that's what we continue to do. And that's life. Even down to listening back and trying to get the audio right. I'm doing this with Delta headphones. When I say Delta, I mean these are free headphones that I have right now. Obviously, I use Apple products, but Apple product is not working with the mic I have. So instead of making excuses to be like, oh, I got to wait till I get the right headphones or I got to go get new headphones. No, I'm going to use the free Delta headphones that I didn't pay for them, but it did pay for them because I paid for the flight. So hopefully something I've said has inspired you, has made you realize something. And at the end of the day, it's helping you move forward for the better. So I will say thank you, Delta. But I mean, I paid for the flight, right? So does it really count? So I'll continue to use these cheap headphones until I buy new headphones. But the point is, we're not making any excuses. We're going to continue to take it day by day, figure it out as we go, adjust where need be, move forward some more, adjust where need be, and continue evolving. And that's what exactly evolving through experience is about. So if y'all been liking the episodes so far, share it. That's all I'm asking. I mean, share it. It's free to share it. You don't even got to buy nothing. Share the episodes. Follow us on all platforms. And tell a friend to tell a friend. And continue evolving. Thank you.